here to warn people. You keep telling me to shut up. This isn't a game.
From the front lines of the information war, it's Alex Jones.
We launched last Tuesday with the Food Babe, that initiative. You, as our listeners, took action and were a big part of that victory. So I salute you. And you notice now the other fast food makers are falling like dominoes, saying they're going to pull out that chemical or similar chemicals. There's a whole family of them. I mean, it was on CNN 10 years ago that McDonald's nuggets have silicone in them. Our FDA says it's okay for melamine to be in baby formula. They execute you for that in China. I mean, this is a big deal. There's a reason we have the highest diabetes, the highest cancer, because we're a dumping ground for toxins. Now, I bring that up because we have the NSA and the things that is going on with it. And there is the daywefightback.org, which is nonpartisan. That's what I like, trying to get left, right, center, libertarians like ourselves together from across the political spectrum to say no. And this is coming up in 10 hours, and everybody's going to put a banner on their website. I'm going to put it in some of our rotating banners for everybody to say, no, we don't want the NSA spying on us. We're aware of what's happening. And you see states like Maryland moving to turn off the power to the NSA, New Mexico, Utah is looking at that. What they're doing is illegal. And they want to divide us on race, religion, culture, liberal, conservative on this issue of the NSA. It's the Fourth Amendment. That's what I always tell establishment leftists who really believe in gun control because they're ignorant, is if they can take your Second Amendment, they're going to take your First, which they're doing. So we stand up for everybody's First Amendment, everybody's Second, Fourth, Fifth, 10th. That's what it's all about. And so joining us is Nathan White, Washington representative for Demand Progress. And I appreciate you coming on. Tell us about the initiative you guys are launching now. You've had some other initiatives that have been successful around the Bill of Rights and what people can do to help promote awareness.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate your attention to this important matter and appreciate you participating in February 11th, the day we fight back against mass surveillance.
Well, tell us about it, yeah.
So last summer, we found out we had confirmation of what we've been hearing for a long time. The government is spying on us. It's a matter of fact. The government is spying on us. If you use a computer, if you use a telephone, if you use any sort of modern system of communication, the government is spying on you. That's a problem. You just said it. It's a violation of the Fourth, and I would argue also the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. When the government does that, it's going too far. And when it violates the Constitution, that isn't a left-right issue. The Constitution is the thing that holds the left and the right together.
They're trying to chill free speech. Exactly. They're trying to chill free speech. So it is an attack on free speech as well. You're right.
So we've got together, and we wanted to take a moment to bring everyone together to speak with one voice, to say, no, this is not okay, and this has got to stop. And we chose February 11th as the day we fight back. The website's thedaywefightback.org. And we have a really broad coalition from everybody from Greenpeace and ACLU all the way to the Libertarian Party and Campaign for Liberty and Freedom Works. We've got corporations, we've got websites, we've got activists, we've got thought leaders, we've got everybody, because everybody understands that this is a problem. It cannot continue, and it's up to us to take this moment to make sure it stops.
Tell us about the initiative and how folks can promote it.
Well, the website is thedaywefightback.org. That's where you can get into the network and sign up to participate. So far, we have almost 5,500 websites, some huge, some small, willing to participate, that they're going to host a banner saying today is the day we fight back and ask you to participate. We already have tens of thousands of Internet users who have signed on to participate. And what that means is really open up to you. We have a widget where you can put in your address and your zip code, and it will tell you the phone number of your senator and your members of Congress, so you can call and say, no, stop this. I don't want this. But we're also encouraging people to go further. The Internet is such a dynamic, interesting place because it's millions of people working together to do whatever the hell they want. And this is that opportunity of, you are the hero. This is your story. This is your Internet. This is your fight. Do what you think. Some people are going to have creative tweets. We're asking people to put together memes, post on the Internet, to do whatever they can, whatever they feel comfortable with, to do what they can. And at the very least, we're also asking people to go ahead and call Congress, because at the end of the day, we are going to need Congress to do something.
And absolutely.
And I'm sure you know, getting Congress to do anything is tough.
Exactly. And I love some of the groups on there. Some of them not so much. Doesn't matter. It's about getting in the habit of working together. It's about getting in the habit of agreeing on what we can agree with each other. It's about getting in the habit of getting outside the left-right paradigm and saying, hey, there's things that everybody agrees on. The NSA, over 90% are upset. But that doesn't even matter. It's illegal. No free society does this. The government, Bush and now Obama, have been caught lying about what's happening. Clapper committed perjury, saying that they're not spying on us when it's on record. What else don't we know? How deep does it go? And we need to have solidarity with all these states across the country that are moving to block this as well, to literally culturally create a stigma around Big Brother type activities.
You know, there are so many different reasons why this is wrong. You just outlined some great reasons why we need to stand up for civil liberties. But this is one of those interesting cases where doing what's right for business is also what's right for the common good. Right now, one of the most innovative job creators we have is the Internet. It allows the smallest corporation to compete against the biggest corporation. It allows Netflix to dethrone Blockbuster, and it allows any sort of competition between the smallest and the largest. But when we shut that down and we don't have that open ability to communicate, then we end that innovation. We're seeing that most particularly in the future of cloud computing, where we're seeing our overseas partners, they're afraid to do business with American corporations because they don't want Uncle Sam reading their email. When the company says, I'm losing tens of millions, perhaps ultimately billions of dollars, because our partners, our friends in our allied countries, even in Europe, don't want to do business with us, not only are we violating the civil liberties, but we're also violating the business community. And that brings another aspect into this, and it's another ally between businesses, the right, the left, the middle. Everybody who is aware of what's going on is against it. And we're asking people tomorrow, February 11th, to say, this is the day we fight back. This is the day where we're all going to speak with one voice. So if you're listening, check out the website, thedaylifightback.org. See what you want to do, see how you can participate, but also sign up. Call your members of Congress tomorrow. Also, let your friends know you're participating. If you're on Facebook, change your images, post status updates. Do whatever you can to let people know that this is not okay and we're going to have to stop it.
You know, the establishment is really scared right now, Nathan, and I know you've got your finger on the pulse as well, so I want to get your take on this briefly. But when I talk to members of Congress, Democrats, Republicans, independents, you name it, they say, no doubt, the public's the most awake, the most angry we've ever seen across the board. 9% approval rating now has gone to 6% for Congress. That's why they're trying to up the partisan politics, is to desperately make us think that we're not really together on most issues. But this has got to really scare the establishment that we're forcing a conversion to take the different BPA out of the plastics. We're forcing a conversion to organic food. We're forcing just across the board, when people get involved, we have victories.
Well, I some of your listeners may not agree with this, but I do still claim to be a Democrat. But I recognize that in the two-party system, the only winners and losers are the parties. That we don't elect a color blue or color red to represent us. We represent people to represent us. And those people need to be more than ideologies. They need to be more than just a machine that wants to get promoted within the party structure. They need to be people that have our interests at heart, and they need to represent those interests. And if they don't, they've got to go, whether they're left, right, red, or blue. They've got to go if they're not working for us. But when you look at when you look at the surveillance, there's a bill in Congress called the USA Freedom Act, which actually on the House side has more than 150 co-sponsors. And the most interesting thing about it is it's bipartisan. This isn't a Republican bill. It isn't a Democrat bill. It's that people who look at this realize it's illegal, realize that people are against it, they come together. And that actually gives me a lot of hope that, sometimes when the people are outraged, when we get together, when we fight back together, left, right, brother and sister, we can still make a difference. And that's why I'm so passionate about making sure we do the best we can tomorrow.
Absolutely. It's very exciting. Nathan White, thank you so much for spending time with us, and we'll get some updates in the aftermath. All
right. Well, I really appreciate it, and thanks for all you do.
You bet. Thank you. TheDayWeFightBack.org. And folks, expanding on that, even if, and we're going to send them an image, they're going to put our little logo up there as well. Here's the issue. Just like the Second Amendment, we're pushing back against the establishment, reaching out to the left. The so-called Democrats I know in the last 5 years have been out buying guns. There's a paradigm shift that's happening right now, and that's why we reach out to these people, is that there are people in the system, in the left and the right, who are not just automatons, who do want freedom. And the last thing the establishment wants is anybody working together. They want balkanization. Now, we don't work together in compromising our freedoms with somebody where we give something up and then they give something up, because they never really give anything up. But when we can get people together around the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, organic food, the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, we do it. But it's the same thing with guns. The gun culture that the system dreads so much, and I even bet Nathan dreads, by actually talking to Nathan and working with Nathan, we'll end up getting him to come over to our side, which is just the libertarian, pro-human, pro-common sense side. And that's what's happening. And let me tell you how you wake people up and win the Second Amendment war. You take a socialist, you take a progressive, you take one of these people out, you get them to shoot, and it's over, folks. It's over. They're going to be running around in a John Deere cap and overalls before you know it. I'm telling you. Liberals, I've seen it in Austin. They moved here from California. They are starting to go native. They are starting to just worship country music, real country music, Hank Williams stuff, rockabilly, you name it. And I see our victory happening. Our culture of freedom is dominant, is beautiful, is good, compared to the Hollywood culture of death and what the system is pushing. And we're winning, ladies and gentlemen. We are winning. And they've tried to paint all Americana as deliverance. And there is some elements of that in there. But we reject that. There are the good elements of Americana. The world has been a wasteland. The cultures have just been really bad, folks, in most periods in history, including Europe or Asia. And the Renaissance culture is the very best that civilization, East, West, you name it, ever produced, and is the flower of science and human empowerment. And that's where we need to go. That's what we need to do. It's a very, very serious situation. So, again, I don't even think you can go get their banner. We're going to put it up just in solidarity to be nice on InfoWars tomorrow as one of the rotating banners. But everyone should make their own anti-NSA, anti-police state banners. They're memes. Send them to InfoWars.com, and we'll take a bunch of the best ones that are sent to show tips at InfoWars.com. Send them by tonight. We'll post a big page with them. We'll send some of them out on Facebook, out on Twitter. I'm going to tell my graphics department I want to basically go get all the good NSA graphics that are already out there, redo them, freshen them up, or come up with your own ideas. They come up with some great ideas, but in a short time frame. And we're going to create some of our own memes tomorrow. It's about fighting back. It's about getting involved. Now, we're going to come back from break and get into the huge Iran news that I have not covered yet that is so incredibly important. We'll get into Bitcoin news. Woman held by TSA for reading Jewish paper goes public. The latest on Hillary. Google Glasses takes off on Virgin Atlantic, spying on everything you do. I won't be flying Virgin Atlantic, and you gotta speak out against this. But before we go to break, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com. We are a major platform of liberty. And I know you've been supporting it. That's why we're able to be this platform of resistance, this platform to try to launch other platforms and to help others. No other talk show host have like other talk show hosts on to promote their talk shows. I mean, nobody does that, except maybe George Norrie, because he's such a class act, having me on the last 11 years. Nobody does that. Or people like John B. Wells. He's another great guy. But I have Ron Paul on to promote his show. I have Jesse Ventura on to promote his show and network. I have Ben Swann on to promote. And the reason we do that, I never even asked Ben Swann to promote me back. The reason we do that, and all these other people, and Mark Dice and all of them, even though Mark Dice was critical of me in the past, I don't even care. I'm ready to die for this, ladies and gentlemen. You think I care if somebody kind of has their own little problem and, you know, kind of a jealous fit or whatever? I don't care, because the work he was doing so good, I just overlook all that. And he saw my high road. I'm not going to let the globalists dynamite the high road for me. I want to take the high road. I'm maturing. I want to take the high road with everybody because I want freedom and I want a future. And so that's why I'm this platform for all these other talk shows over the years, most of them who ended up flipping out, making lies up about me because they had a taste of a big show and then thought if I destroy Alex, I'll be big. Then I cut them off, and then they have no platform. I'm not talking about Ron Paul and Jesse Ventura. They have platforms. I mean, other people over the years you've heard here that you don't hear here because they destroyed themselves. We're here to really try to win it, folks. We're in it to win it. I want you to win. I want you to be successful. And to do that, you've got to fund our operation. Like, you'll hear me get rid of almost all the sponsors when we're making enough money, but then I start to not plug stuff and need funding. Go to InfoWarsLife.com, buy the Super Male Vitality, try it. I mean, I think you're really going to be amazed. And if you don't like it, still you supported the broadcast. Don't reorder. Everybody's reordering, by the way. Reordering on Super Male Vitality is the highest of any of the products. Then we have the Fluoride Shield. We have the Nascent Iodine proprietary Survival Shield. We have the great Southern Mexico High Mountain Organic Coffee. All of it is at InfoWarsLife.com. We have MadeIn1776.com. Limited edition, MadeIn1776.com. Limited edition, belt buckles, ball caps, golf shirts, you name it. All of it makes Made in America flags, very hard to find. All of it available at InfoWarsStore.com, but MadeIn1776.com takes you right to the subpage of the Made in America high-quality stuff. We got a bunch of new Moan Law-based stuff coming out this week. In fact, the truck's coming right now. All Made in America. Beautiful. Best Moan Law-base you've ever seen. Let's get here in 3 days. InfoWarsStore.com or 888-253-3139.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.